Reign of Kings is Anime of the Year material, and it's crazy that I can say that after only seeing 3 episodes. The animation is round and stretchy, but moves and has a ton of life in it. Gives me Lupin III, Castle of Cagliostro vibes, and other Ghibli films. It's a breath of fresh air style-wise, and it's almost storybook in quality in some of the scenes. In fact, the entire anime is very storybook-like in its telling of a prince's story, deaf and mute, trying to become the greatest king in the land, with a seemingly evil stepbrother and stepmother taking advice from a magic mirror with questionable motives to take power from him and his father, with a fantasy world that feels more Dragon Quest than a usual anime fodder, with really cool character designs, like a giant snake with missing eyes and head, or a shadow clan, which I thought all the people were just hiding in shadows, but are actually just like flat things that look like tar spots on the ground. But it works. It actually works. Oh, and that devil, which appears in episode 3, which is terrifying, and I thought, what the hell was that? But it's all great design. The music swells and fits the settings perfectly, reminding me, oddly enough, a lot of either Breath of the Wild or Link's Awakening music. The voice acting is great, and even Boji's grunts, while a bit startling at first, really begin to grow on you. So why do I think this is Anime of the Year material? Well, because I think of how Wit and the writers have handled the story around this amazing stonework of a setting. It's just a really smart handling. While this is playing out a bit like a traditional coming-of-age Prince Tales, the characters make this incredibly multifaceted. Let's start with Boji. Deaf and mute, but not dumb, never dumb. Just lonely and a bit naive because the people around him won't put in the time to really care for him. Social commentary? Compared to his younger brother, Didus, of course, Boji is, in fact, the older one of the two. It's a fact I had to double check because, even from the anime, it doesn't look like it. But Boji is older. And it's clear why those around him just aren't up to the task of getting to know and train Boji. Unlike the Cinderella story, where Cinderella's sisters are just mean and neglectful to her, just because the court and the kingdom ignore Boji, not because they hate him, but because they can't see past his disabilities. So he is stuck as just a prince who walks around the castle. Which is why I really love the opening episode, where Boji meets and is taken advantage of by one of these shadow assassins, Kage, who promises him that he will meet him at a specific spot each day if he gets to rob Boji of his clothes, which is, a little sad, but Boji happily accepts, simply to have someone who will talk to him and interact. Because oddly enough, within 30 seconds of meeting, Kage, the shadow assassin, who has never met Boji in his life, realizes Boji can actually read lips, which I don't know how you could count those as lips, but whatever. And that's really interesting because besides Boji's father, it doesn't really seem like anyone else in the castle realizes he can do this. So while they do use sign language to communicate, the fact that no one has taken more than a few minutes to really assess Boji's abilities is really telling. And it's really interesting to see when they think that they can't hear him and he says stuff in front of him, and Boji reacts. Even later, when Boji is pitted to fight against his younger brother, a random castle guard seems to have more confidence in the prince's abilities than his entire family and trainer, which is sad. Because while Boji is mute and deaf, he's far from incompetent. Now, Boji isn't strong, far from it. Though he's quick and nimble, he barely has enough strength to leave a mark on his brother in a fight. And when he tries to escape the castle in episode 3, he nearly falls to his death and is knocked unconscious. So this isn't some weird power fantasy for deaf people. No, Boji's strength is more in his observation, his tenacity, and his kindness. Not unlike the king of Shonen himself, Boji has a knack for making people care about him and follow him, so long as they give him more than a single glance. That's evident enough in his relationship with said giant snake, the King Spear, who by the way is a real G, Kage, and touchingly enough, the Queen, who, while presented as cruel for the first few episodes, nearly plunges to her death to save Boji without hesitation. That's right, we have nuance here, baby. A stepmother who doesn't want Boji to be king, but will spend all night healing him after he's injured at the expense of her own health. A queen who will rip up her husband's will, but allow Boji to go on his grand adventure for honestly good reasons, not just trying to get rid of him. For a lot of characters and plot beats already introduced in Rankings of Kings, It would be easy to follow a traditional formula, but time and again, the writers add a new and refreshing spin that keeps Ranking of Kings honest and engaging, handling themes of belonging, dreams, moral dilemmas, and even horror at times, like seeing Kage's family impaled on spears, is terrible once you realize the implications that you are witnessing a genocide. Where Boji will go and what will come of the story is anyone's guess, but boy, with the pure, unadulterated ball of goodness that is Boji, and how much he so wants to succeed, and that smile of his, which reminds me a lot of another particular frog character. No matter what, I'm along for the ride, and I truly think, even with this season of anime powerhouses, Ranking of Kings may just rank number 1. Alright, stray observations from last episodes, because I've only seen 3 of them, and I've heard a little bit about the 4th. First thing, what the hell was that demon? I'm quite interested. Hints at something bigger. Did he make King Boss strong? Is he going to make Boji strong? Is he evil? Does he have any association with that magic mirror that Dietis is communicating with, that Bepin seems to know about? Is Bepin dead? I don't know if he's dead. I hope he's dead. He's an asshole. Where's Apis going? What's going to happen on Boji's journey? Is he going to get betrayed? Spoiler alert. Betrayed by a sword guy, which it seems like he is, which is going to be sad. But to be honest, foreshadowing a little bit counts. Oh yeah, King Boss died. He just died in episode 3. He's passed away, which I guess, although they never say why he was sick. He just started coughing blood episode 1. Anyway, King Hilda, or Queen Hilda? Shoot, I forgot her name. Anyway, I'm starting to like her. I sort of understand where she's coming from with she thinks Boji is incapable of defending the kingdom, so she's putting herself behind the prince, not because she hates Boji, but because, to her, he's someone to be protected. He's not someone who can, gain the strength needed to protect the kingdom, which is understandable, but also, she's also discounting him for his disability. So there's a lot of nuance here, and it's so interesting. And Boji himself is a great protagonist in both how they handle his disability, not in like a patronizing way, but in a way that actually does affect him. Because he's, there are things that he can't do legitimately. He can't hear and stuff like that. But he's also far more capable than people would give him credit for. And just his tenacity and the fact that he's a young protagonist, so it's okay that he cries. All of that, and just you want to see Boji succeed, just like Kage. You see him and you feel for him for everything that like he goes through and he witnesses and he hears, and you really want him to succeed. And whether or not he becomes king, I don't know. I don't even know. It seems like what Boji wants is to become king, but we don't know. Maybe that story will go that way. Maybe it won't. But regardless, this is incredibly interesting. And this is just an awesome show to watch. And I think it's perfect for everyone. I don't think this is a show that anybody could really dislike. And I'm really excited to see where it goes. I've seen the trailers multiple times, and it looks like it's just gorgeous. There's a guy flipping what I think is like a dinosaur on his head. It's just so cool looking. The animation's so nice. The music's amazing. Honestly, this could be the best show of the year. Anyway, that's my rambling. Please like and subscribe if you can. I really appreciate it. Let me know if there's a different anime that you think is better than this season, and I would love to hear it. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you guys later.